What up, what up, what up, Wheatfield? How y'all doing? Welcome back, welcome back. This is your girl Lottie at Tears and Wheat to Row Show. If you new, welcome. I welcome you. I welcome you to this space. It is a free and open space to just be, We are a channeled messenger, bringing intuitive channeled messages from the spirit. We message from the eternal Lord of all of creation, His infinite intelligence, and the breath of life. Yes, we do. And we look at, we consider theology across time. However, the source has spoken to its people. We consider that. We consider all theologies, biologies, microologies, biologies, astrologies, astronomies, all the me's, all of them too. So however source has spoken, or whatever source has created by its intelligence, has a word, and we read them all. I'm also, again, like I stated, an intuitive messenger. I channel in the spirit, so source will speak through me, and whatever the spirit says is what I say. Whatever the spirit writes, I scribe, then I will say what is written. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you can rock with that, if you can vibe with your girl, if you can bring those pieces together, and you like it by the end of the video, subscribe. If you like it right now, subscribe. Go ahead and do your thing. If it comes together for you and it end up being something that you care about, share it out. Sharing is caring. And if you really like the spell, go ahead on and hit that noti bell, and you'll be notified when we do this at least once a day. We do it on a daily. So, with all that said, I have to give you my disclaimer. Disclaimer is this: I'm not profane, but I damn sure cuss. It comes out. Whatever the message is, the message is. I'm not perfect. I fuck up a card or two every now and again, but I usually come back and correct myself. I notice it. Spirit will call it out like, that's not really right. Spirit will tell me when my interpretation is a little bit off. Nope, go back this way, come back, pull back, fall back, way back, and go forward. Yes, it does that. So if you can hang on in there, if you can rock it, if you can vibe with your girl, set around. It's always a thing, you know what I mean? Sometimes it can start off slow. Like that old school Crisco, like back in the day, that shit where you got to get it out the can and put it in a pan and let it melt down. Most High come in and put some heat on that thing. It do. And should we get to showing up, get to cooking? I got some pinto beans in the crock pot right now. So I don't know if this is going to be a crock pot kind of day, or is it going to be a flowy kind of day? Because I already been feeling this hustle and flow kind of thing. That's what I've been feeling. Like I done seen it 2-3 times already today, and it's been in my spirit. Like I can hear the song. Keep hustling, keep flowing. It ain't over for me. It ain't over for me. So if you got that in your spirit right now, you got something that you hustling up on. Because you like, look, it don't matter what the now is or how far I done aged. Then it ain't over. Because I still got that spirit. I can hustle, I can get it in. Because, you know, or maybe you just in the flow. You know what I mean? Feeling like the last dragon back in the day. Y'all remember that? I might be aging myself. I don't care. Anywho, remember at the end when he was like, Leroy, and he came up out that water and it was all glistening, glistening up. He was shining right out the water. And he was doing something. I got the flow. I got the glow. And his hands was like this, and he was doing a crazy ass sparks, man. Ching! I'm feeling it, y'all. I'm feeling it. So, I don't know. It might not be no crack pot kind of day. We might get to frying. We might get to cooking. We got a couple of things going on. We got some stuff on the table. We got a couple texts. We got the 48 Laws of Power. We got some dark psychology. We also been following this Daystar Peterson trial. I won't call it, you know, because homegirl is not on trial. She didn't press charges. Is not. The only thing that's really is about is to find out who shot her. And it doesn't matter what else went on in that car, who was sleeping with who was doing what, none of that mess. Somebody shot that girl. And whoever shot her needs to be held accountable for their actions. And it's really just simple as that. It's at the point where these days where, like, you know, we as people don't even just get to the basic truth that a crime against that woman has been committed, and whoever did it needs to be held accountable. You know, it's a whole bunch of questions that media is not asking. And I think that shit is real fucking dark and insidious. I do. And it keeps us arguing about propaganda that makes absolutely no fuck sense. There we go with that. Because that's what it is. It makes no sense. Because where is the driver of the car? Like, that driver was in the car. They know. I believe one of the reports said that Miss Peters, and I think her last name is Pete too, right? Peterson and Pete, that's odd. But anyway, Miss Pete, her bodyguard went to go pick her stuff up from Mr. Peterson's house. Where is her bodyguard? You mean to tell me the driver of the car wasn't subpoenaed to testify? Like, he wasn't called by the state? I mean, what is that about? So all of this stuff looks like a whole bunch of spectacles to me to keep people not paying attention to what the real is, or to just continue to demonize this woman. And I'm not saying that whether she was completely, it's not about her innocence. That's not what the question is. It's not about whether or not, she was sleeping or having relations with whoever. I mean, because it's her body, she can have relations with who she wants. But at the end of the day, does that qualify you to be shot? If you talking to somebody, I mean, it ain't like neither one of them, Kelsey or Mr. Daystar, has come out and said it was in self-defense. Nobody said that. That's what they didn't say. So it's not a question of whether Miss Pete was actually attacking someone that would warrant her to be harmed in such a way. Because self-defense, there's a measure of retaliation, like defense, that you can apply. So, like, if I'm coming at you and your life is threatened, then yeah, you can respond to protect your life with that level of force. But if it's just a physical altercation, then no gun should not have been involved. Especially if nobody's life was threatened to the point where they are claiming self-defense. Let's get with this thing now, people. It's some dark psychology going on with that, but we got that message brewing. It's sitting over here to the side. It ain't really ready yet to be served up. That's just a little appetite bite, just to let you know where we going to go down the road with that. And it's real unbiased, because it has really, again, nothing to do with the fact of whether she was sleeping with whoever. Let's look at the fact that she didn't press charges. None of that. The state did. And so the state has the obligation to find out who hurt her. They do. And to hold that person accountable. Because there's plenty of women that go through it, people, period, dudes that go through trauma like that, get hit and beat on by their girl or whoever, and don't say nothing. You keep showing up to the ER, black and blue, the state is going to do something to protect you, even in situations where you are unwilling to protect yourself. And in this day and age, the propaganda is going around so tough, and people looking at the spectacle, that they are disregarding the fact that a crime was committed. She was shot. And somebody should be held accountable for it. Because if somebody shoot one of yours for whatever fuck reason, you gonna want accountability. So to go through all of this hoopla and fall into the matrix with the bullshit is beyond me. I really don't get it. And the pieces that's missing, nobody is fucking talking about. Like, where is that at? Where is the bodyguard? Where is the driver? Why are they not testifying? People out here talking about something. I believe Kelsey. Why? What makes her such a credible witness? It ain't like she came out right forth. And she done recanted half of the shit that she done said. Are we saying that a crime didn't occur? What did Megan do? Shoot herself in the foot? Her hands ain't had no damn gunpowder on the night then. If anything, Mr. Daystar and Kelsey, between them two, something happened to Megan. And that's the fucked up part, that nobody is really thinking about that. Anywho, are we ready to go into it? No, we not. We just had to get it out, because that's just it's been egging me. Like, I see so many content creators jumping on a bandwagon to drag this woman through the mud. And she's not on trial. She didn't bring charges. So why is all the focus on her personally, about who she giving her to? Really? Folks don't be saying that when they be running all up in it, but when you get it, then you want to be like, oh, she gave it to me? Fuck that. Shit, you gave me your wine. How about that? You out here spilling your essence all over anybody that'll receive it, and even the ones that don't want it. How about that? Anywho, yeah, ask it, we shall receive. Let's get into the message, y'all. Let's get into it. I'm telling you, you can see already the grease is cooking. It ain't gonna be no slow cooker crock pot message. No, this is some drop. We gonna drop some stuff in here unless Most High come on and pull me back. Get me back in alignment with what we really finna talk about today. We feeling some hustle and some flow. We got some soul journey cards out. Wait, these are angel oracles, my bad. These are soul journeys right here. We got these going on. We got some mindful messages too. I'm not sure what else we gonna take. Okay, we got some of these right here. These my little love deck, one of those. I mean, and there's always loving on yourself, loving on another person. I don't know which way spirit is going to go with it. We don't really do the twin flame show. That's really not just what this is. You know what I mean? I don't do your whatever. But if the cards say karmic, I'll read it karmic. That's what it say. If it say soul contract, soul lesson, then that's what it say. If it say somebody new for you might be coming in, that's what it say. I'll read for the week. You know what I mean? So take it if it resonate. If it don't resonate, don't take it. Don't call nothing into your life that don't belong. So if y'all about ready to get started, we got to pray first. We're going to get a sip, call on some faith. I feel like we're going to have some faith as we flowing, because it's a whole bunch of folks hustling. But is they flowing? I don't know. Let's see. Thank you so much, Holy Father. We need a crystal. Yeah, it's coming. Thank you. This? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Get it in here. Thank you so much. The eternal Lord of all of creation. All of creation. Everything that is in existence, any and everywhere, was made by our eternal Lord of creation, by his infinite intelligence, in the breath of life that connects and binds it all, animates the flow. Yes, keep flowing. Yes, fill me up with the flow. As I bring you in and I give it out, I stay in the process, held within, giving and receiving, giving on to creation what it needs, my edification, what I've edified self with, I give it out. And I receive edification and nourishment from creation itself for my own edification, so that I may edify the source. Yes, bringing it into this vessel for processing. Yes, taking it into my kingdom space, seating it with my true self, having it discerned and processed up, sending it up to the Father, receiving that download intuition, the messages from the source itself, having it discerned in my heart space for determination, surrendering in obedience, acceptance is there, yes, and then I do my very best to act it out, because heaven has come to earth, residing in earth to do the work of heaven. It shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. And as I surrender unto you, Father, the Lord of all of creation, your intelligence, and connected with your flow, animated and filled with your flow. Thank you so much for allowing me, blessing me. I humbly accept the charge. I humbly accept the charge. Yes, I surrender to that. All these things I pray for goodness, for your sake, Father, for the sake of your will to be done. Please, please, please brighten my light, brighten my lumen, so that anything that would come into this space to cause confusion, chaos, to be conflicting, to disillusion, to distort this message, to please block it out and seal it out, Holy Father. Seal it out for your name's sake. Yes, for your name's sake. So that the message that we give is edifying unto self first and foremost, clear and concise, that we deliver it out to your wheat field in the same such manner, that we come together and resonate and connect over the principles of this message so that we all may be edified, and that edification is up to you, our eternal Lord of all of creation, that which called all things by its mind and by its word and connected by its force and breath of life. Is there anything else that we should pray at this time to come into alignment? If there is, Father, please give me the words to pray. If we be in alignment, please grant me your authority and seal me with your Ashe. Please discern. Source says to be in alignment. Your energy. Align your energy so that you can lift yourself up, so that you can raise up now. Is it now or go forward? Go forward, rising up, going forward. Now. Now. Are we in alignment? Are we in alignment, Father? Are there more words? Is there chaos? Confusion? Depression? I feel somebody's energy is diminishing, is going down. Yes. Stop. Or is it now? Now. Their energy is depleting. They're sinking, regressing, I feel. Yes, now. They need to raise themselves up. Death is affecting their emotional state, their mood, yes. So they are depressed over a death. Yes. And they are spiraling downward. Yes. Okay. Is there anything that we can speak to help them raise themselves? Seek God's understanding. Yes. Ashe. Yes, thank you guys. Whew. Whew. Thank you. Thank you guys for sitting with me. That was heavy. So, I do see a couple of things on here that just was shuffled that are right along with what the Father said. First card is in our mindful messages right here. And just the top card where we landed says togetherness and loving friends here. So with the fact we see, okay, creative, infinite creativity as well. Do you want this? No. So we see those three: infinite creativity, loving friends, and together. If you have lost someone, I know love was on the top, and I just was getting ready to shuffle it. I see guilt cracked open on that. Guilt, humor is here, so maybe you need to bring some lightheartedness, but that's not what it is. It's the death card behind that that's pushing. So somebody has passed, and there's been a lot of that going on. What else is here? Guilt pushing right back out. So maybe somebody that has passed, you have guilt over that. But the primary top energy was love. So somebody that you loved has passed. You loved deeply has passed. And that energy is prevalent because a lot of people has a lot of individuals are experiencing loss and grief in that manner. The other one on this angel oracle was ask and receive, and that right there was a thing. Spiritual growth is also an energy, and you're gonna have to do the work. Moving through the grief process is hard, but it's work. Spiritual growth, right back out, and then I got a split here for strength and guidance. Yeah, strength and guidance. Um, I see here the golden mirror, and it's a lot of things down here. They're self-absorbed, I feel. Narcissist is there, but I don't feel like that's the energy. One-sided relationship is what I feel. Self-absorbed, like maybe you are so wrapped up in the grief, like it is consuming you. That's what I felt in terms of the mood, the emotion of just depression, and the grief is almost consumed you. Not like that you're grieving alone, because it's probably others that are grieving with you. But sometimes our personal grief can feel so heavy that it's like your grief is the only thing that there is, or nobody understands your particular grief. You know, this is another energy. Abundance is here. Keep a positive mindset. Keep a positive mindset. And that's what's sticking out to me when in terms of pulling yourself up, raising yourself up out of this situation. What is the order, Father? What shall we get first? This one? Okay. Then this. Then what? Mindful message. And then, is it this, and then this goes last? Okay. All right, y'all. We got some cards. Let's see what we can learn today. Let's get this angle a little bit better. Tilt it down. Yes. Thank you. Get some energy on these cards. I still hear keep hustling, keep moving. It ain't over for me. Yeah, health is out. Do you want that? No, that's a good energy though. Reminding yourself that the things that you do, like whether you are using vices, whether you are drinking, smoking, all kinds of stuff like that, to kind of numb the pain. Look at that. Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And that's difficult when somebody has transitioned. It is. It's very difficult. Do you want this card? No. When someone has transitioned, it's really hard. Somebody that you love seriously has transitioned. Do you want that? Has transitioned. Do you want this? Success. I know that there's no greater goal than to love. And then we had love come out. There's no greater goal than to love. And especially after you experience someone close to you that has passed away or passed on, that transition can push you, again, that depression deep into yourself where you don't feel like you can love. This one, yeah. Yeah, you feel like you can't love again, like it's going to be wrapped up in some failure, like it's going to just result in the same hurt. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Are you learning from whatever has taken place? Are you growing, learning from whatever has taken place, this adversity? Yeah, I doubt it. You probably have doubt that you can ever get through this, ever come out of it. And especially if it's something that's really fresh, you're not there quite yet. We were speaking on acceptance and surrenderance. Someone posted that on Facebook this morning as well, in terms of accepting the things that you cannot change and surrendering to that. Maybe you need to be honest about something. Honest. I can always expect the truth from others, but I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. I feel like maybe you're not telling yourself the truth. And oftentimes when grief happens, we do that. We sometimes feel like, yeah, you trying to get to peace with it, peace with whatever happened. We tell ourselves lies. We do. We lie to ourselves. And it's not something, I got all these little books everywhere. It's not something that's just necessarily intentional. Like, we say stuff like, if I had have been there, or, yeah, that's what I feel like, that if I had have been there kind of thing, like there was something that you could have done to change the events. There is something that you could have said. There's something that you could have done. Maybe you feel like you should have said something while they were here. And maybe there was something that you feel like you should have done while you had the opportunity to do that. Because we saw guilt come out a couple of times. And when you are guilty or feel guilt, then that definitely can hurt you and harm you in terms of your healing and the process of moving through grief itself. Do you want anything else? No. Getting to peace right here can be a challenge if you are, again, stuck in the phases of grief, or if it's very, very fresh. One thing about transition, and it's something that people are not always ready to accept or depend on your belief. I told you I'm spiritual, not religious at all, right? I believe that, I know that creation is whole, and I know that our passed over loved ones are still held in the whole in the creation. The spirit goes to rest, especially dependent on the experience in the life. And just, going through this plane is a lot. You take a lot of information. You are very busy. Your vessel is operating all the time. It doesn't truly rest. There's always operations going. There's never a time where you are still. You are always moving, always in the flow. Keep flowing. It ain't over for me. It ain't over for me. Keep moving. You gotta keep moving. Gotta keep moving. Gotta keep going. Knowing that life is going to do what it's going to do, and it's doing it for a reason, for a purpose, for the Most High God, the eternal Lord of all. And we may not know the purpose, the design for it. Again, this is another one. It was just out there. So it's so funny that all these little pieces is coming together. Again, ingredients that you throw in a stew or something, and they come out at the end of the day. But, sometimes the thing that happens, it has a purpose. Everything is done for a purpose, for a part of the design. It catalyzes you or others to perform a work that is designated by the Creator of all things. Again, the Creator is the Creator of all things, good and evil. And it uses every single thing, everything, to enact its will. You are never outside of creation. You are always held within, and everything that you do goes into the realm of what is. And creation responds. The universe responds. It does. And there is a ripple effect. It is. So whatever may have happened for a purpose specifically. But it could be a purpose that you can't see. You may be too close up on that thing to see it. Or the purpose may not be realized for another 2 or 3 generations. It may come about to force you to change. It may come about, again, we see that growth. I accept challenges are the best way to learn. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Can you consider things like, maybe you were dependent on a certain person, and now that person has been taken away from you in order for you to become independent. But But if you fall into depression and stay there, then is how long is it going to take for the design, the purpose of that event to take place? It won't be realized until you realize that you have the ability to go on, the ability to stand, the ability to raise and lift yourself up and manifest and actualize your fullness by coming to your full self, your whole self, deepened, having a much deeper awareness because of the growth that came out of the adversity. We develop character in how we deal with our challenges. That is what develops your character. That's what develops your manhood. That's what develops your womanhood. Moving through those tears, the tears of your life come to test you. And yes, that's even on to death. There's a lot of energies out here that are snatching people, but those energies operate under the law of one. They may be seeking to distort energy onto themselves, but at the end of the day, the Most High God, the eternal Lord of all, controls or influences all. Everything serves the Father, everything. Because the Father made it all. So everything is in service to the Father. We may not see it like that because grief, and oftentimes we are taught that God is only that high vibrational, that the Father itself is only sympathy, empathy, understanding, and compassion. But because it knows how to use that other side, those other attributes. It knows how to use bitterness and jealousy. It knows how to use violence and atrocities in order to galvanize and create energy so that we can choose to force us to move. Everything must flow. Everything must move. And it's an ebb and a flow. An ebb and a flow. Some things push you back. Some things knock you back. Some things take you off your feet. You ever been to the ocean and stood and watched one of them waves come in and it hit you so hard that it knocks you off your feet? It do. That emotion, that harsh flow like that strong emotional flow like the water itself is representative of the flow. It's a flow of emotion that represents that. That huge flow of emotion will come in and knock you off your feet. And sometimes those waves are coming so hard that every time you try to get up on your feet, another one comes and knock you back down. But what are you going to do in that situation? Are you going to sit there on the edge of the beach getting bombarded and beat up by waves and drown? Or are you going to get up and fight through the waves, navigate your way to the shore, something so that you can get the rest you need, get strong, or let the waters calm and then go back at it? There's a process in that. It's a journey. You grow after this adversity. Adversities come to grow you. And it is not, beloved, going to always look like what you think it should look like. It ain't going to feel fair. It ain't going to feel like God is in it. It ain't going to look like anybody else even understand. That's why I felt that self-absorbed. Like somebody doesn't understand your grief specifically. Like you feel in your emotions that this grief is significantly different than what other people have experienced or what the other people around you are experiencing. Like you can't get that connection. You can't get that comfort. And it could be, we saw communication, honesty and communication peak out too. We have honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. That's a challenge. Are you telling yourself the truth? Are you being truthful with you? Again, are you telling yourself something that's just really not, that you couldn't have done? I couldn't have saved them, Or if life and death is in the hands of the Most High God, when the Most High says it's time, then we have to accept that it is time. It hurts like hell to try and figure out how to go on without that physicality, without the ability to call, to touch, to hear, to use these senses and experience this person. But what grief does is supposed to lend on to gratefulness, to gratitude, so that you can appreciate the ones that remain. You hopefully are not alone, that you have friends and family that you can talk to, that you can connect to. You have strong relationships, people that you love, that you want to stay connected to. You know, you want to see the best for them. You want to show up for them the way that you are needed to show up. Show up for yourself in that way. The person that has left you may have been somebody very close and very significant to your life. What is the legacy that you are leaving? How is their going away from you in physicality? How has it changed you? How has it grown you? How did you respond? Are you responding with guilt and statements that are just not true? I should have said this. I should have done that. Well, opportunities still exist. Creation is whole. You can speak to them in the spirit. You can speak to them out loud and experience them. And I know it for certain. I know it for certain that you can. And that they will speak back. That you can feel it in your heart space. You can feel it in your gut, in your kingdom space. And when you get so deep into meditation and in the spirit, you can feel them touch you. You can feel them hug you. You can feel them give you the comfort that you need in order to go on. You probably could listen and let them tell you, you know, come on, baby. Get up and let's, you know. Oh, I'm with you. I haven't left you. I see you. I feel your pain. I want you to rest. I want you to have some peace. What's behind that? Relationship. Somebody lost somebody very close in a relationship, and I don't know if it was parent or sibling or lover, friend. It's a lot of people losing a lot of people. Doubt says, I release the need to know all the answers, and it's in a challenge. It's in a challenge. Maybe you haven't released the need. You need to know why. Why did this happen? Why did you go? Why did you leave me? Why did they choose? Why was it you? Out of all the people, why was it them? Father, why? And you can seek answers, and you can seek, but have peace and quiet your emotional state so that you can hear. If your emotions are banging so loud and you are asking why, you seek in revelation, you seek, don't let nobody tell you that you can't seek, that you can't ask. That's a fuck lie. Yes, you can. Father will tell you and will give you comfort. Some things that we just can't know. So now I got to pull back on that. Because I seek stuff all the time. And if it's not my business or it will impact the free will of another entity, I am not allowed to know. That is against the law of one. Cannot impact free will. Why? Because the creator of all existence needs to have the opportunity to do as it will through each of its pixels, all of creation as it wills. So free choice is a thing we cannot impede. And I bring forth the example of Emmett Till all the time, or just the little girls in Birmingham, the 4 girls that got, their light was extinguished in that church. You know, in those days, on that day, that atrocity, no one is able to see the purpose of that happening. Nobody. It's like, why for? We know the reason of, the people who did it, it was out of hatred and bigotry, prejudice, racism, just downright self-hatred. Because you gotta hate yourself to do another entity like that. You got a problem with you, creation itself. Anywho, we digress. But to stand in this day, in 2023, going on or whatever they put on that calendar clock or whatever, in this age, we can see how that changed the country, how it changed the trajectory, how it tilted the scale, how the needle moved because of it. Both of all of those events. And we look back now to see where we've come so that we can do the work to prevent from going any further. So since we said do the work, and we were talking about asking and receiving revelation, asking and see, power and intention is right there. What is your power? And you discover it on this next card right here. When you come into alignment. Come into alignment and know that everything happens in divine timing for a divine reason. And you can trust the universe for that. But somebody doesn't feel like they have a guardian angel, or like their angel who guards them is gone. Like they don't have that trust. Is that right? Please correct me if I'm wrong. That's right. Okay. Thank you. Trust the universe wanted to stop, so we take this off. Yeah. Trust the universe. Trust God. Trust that God knows what it's doing. That the infinite intelligence of the all knows. It knows what it's doing. It syncopates all life. It's synchronicity. It brings everything together. It keeps the flow, the breath of life, and the intelligence. They keep the rhythm. They keep the flow. They keep the pace. And if you stop, you don't truly stop because your body is always moving. So, and it's egging you to keep going, to go on. And so you end up with an internal conflict in here because your highest self, your spiritual self, knows that you can endure. It knows that you can endure. But your heart space and your mental mind that, that's kind of thinking that it's you, it doesn't realize the emotions are so strong in you that it feels like you can't go on. And maybe what you're doing to cope is supporting you and not being able to go on. Father says you need some healing energy. Healing energy. And that's in a challenge, beloved. Is healing energy adversity. It's in a challenge. Do you want either one of these? Do you want anything else in here? No. One last energy for your week. One last energy for your week. This. Or this one. This. Joy and contentment is in a reverse. Failure, joy, and contentment. You feel like if love always ends up in a failure. And you don't have any joy, you don't have any peace. No joy, no peace. Contentment. Contentment is like peace. You have no joy, no peace. It's feel like you went back, you got knocked down by the wave, and you were there, you are down. And that's what Father was saying. That energy, your emotions are just dragging you down. The depression, I feel. The weights on you. Was it this one next? It was this one. Okay. Who are you? Source of all creation. Is this right? This day? Okay. Yeah. Let's see, baby. Let's see. Let's see. That, no. This one, no. Is it here? And this one? somebody passed. Somebody passed, beloved, and you are not able to grow past this transition, this loss. Endings bring new beginnings. It does. That part of your life, that age with that person may be over, but you are going to be a whole different you because of it. You are. You're going to be developed, but you have to start the work. We saw do the work flipping here. It didn't come out when we really got into the reading, but it's a part of the energy. Again, having the courage, the ability to do the work, to face it, to come up out of it, to pull yourself up out. You can consider them mentoring you still. Like, what would this person tell you? Can you hear? Can you hear them tell you when you don't, come on, get up, or no, don't do that, or are you so inebriated, or are you so I feel like somebody is like your emotions are smothered down, like it's stuffed down, like the realness, not the anger, not that, but the love and the care that you feel, even your ambition and your willingness to just really face life and be a full participant. Like, maybe you don't believe that you can do it. Your success. Like, I know that there's no greater goal than to love, and love is here. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Maybe you don't, or that is the challenge. Like, to do that will lead you into failure. I understand that a mistake is only the opportunity to learn. Even if you've committed mistakes, let's see, the golden mirror is self-absorbed. We talked about this. You feel like you are like nobody understands your grief. Self-absorbed, narcissistic, one-sided relationship. One-sided relationship is a challenge. But it's like in this situation with the passing, more than one person is going to be affected always, because you're not in a family by yourself. You're just not. And so everybody experiences grief differently. Mirroring each other. Everybody experiences grief differently, and you guys may be mirroring each other. This person feels like this and they project that out, and you feel like this and then you project that out, and they feel like this and they project that out, and it's just a cycle. It just goes on and on and on, because everybody's hurting. Everybody is reflecting each other's pain and grief. And that is a challenge. It prevents you guys from being able to heal, to feel the love and connectivity that is within the group, within the connectivity. There's comfort there. But you can't get to it when everybody feels like their grief is different. Their grief is special. Their grief is above the other person's grief, or deeper than the other person's grief. Like, I hurt more. No, everybody hurts, and they hurt differently. But that doesn't mean that one hurt is more or less, or more significant, or any of that. This coming together, union. A soul connection is here. Eternal love. Yes. It says wedding rings, but I'm not looking at the wedding rings. I'm looking at the message at the bottom, where it says soul connected, eternal love. Yes. Yes. Union. Come together. Come together. Come together. And that's what I was saying. Like, it feels like, this, anything else? Nothing. Unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection. Giving and receiving affection. Maybe you guys are not The family. I feel the family. The family. We have infinite creativity here. But I feel like it's, a family that is suffering with this. It's a family. And some people, again, everybody experiences grief differently. They do. And depending on the situation, again, some people could feel like, this. Some people could feel like, my grief is heavier, or you don't understand, or you just don't get it, and there's not, yeah, and then it leaves you feeling separated, you know, it, it leaves you feeling like nobody understands. It leaves you feeling like, again, nobody get it. That wave that knocked you off your feet, you know. But I hear, again, keep hustling, keep moving. It ain't over for me. It ain't over for me. Maybe you feel like this knocked you off so hard that you cannot get up, that everything is going to come to a failure. You doubt that anything else is really going to come in. You don't feel like you can trust anybody. No honesty. No, I can't always expect the truth from others. Like everybody lying to you, like it's not real. You know what I mean? But I can expect truth from myself. You not even telling the truth to you. I feel like it's still something about that you are not accepting the fullness, or maybe you feel like there's something that you could have done, or something that you should have said, or something like that. We carry that level of grief, and that is the purpose of grief. So think about that. So the same way in this situation, beloved, where if you didn't tell this person your truth, your honesty, like and really put that out there while they were here in the physical, to physically hear you, talk back to you, and share that conversation, that connection, that loving experience. The grief of not having it then reminds us to do it now, because we never know the date. We never know. And to take the courage, take the courage to do that with the ones that remain is where you develop the gratitude. You be like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I get a chance to share this with you, to share myself, to experience you, because I know that it doesn't last forever. I know that I didn't say this before. I know what that feeling is. It hurts. It makes me feel like this, and I'm struggling to get up. I'm struggling to go on. Expansive. It's here. Every day I am learning new things and expanding into my highest potential. Do you want this? You want it here, on top of the growth, on top of the death? Yes. And that goes back to what I was saying, that sometimes things come away from us to grow you. That adversity, it doesn't sound like it. And I mean, like, even to say it could feel like shitty. Like, how could I lose somebody just so I could grow? Like, no. But everything has a purpose. Again, when Emmett Till was murdered like that, we didn't know that the country would grow in this fashion. And growth has been experienced. Is it still painful? And still a painful journey? Yes. The same with those little girls in Birmingham. We didn't know that the country was going to grow like that. Like, the energy that came out of that galvanized people more to activity and activism and fighting for rights, so that we can live in the society that we live in today. We think it's bad now. We have no idea what our ancestors and those forerunners went through so that we can experience what we're experiencing. When things fall away from us, especially when you lose something and you feel like you're missing it, you're lacking it, it usually gives you an ambition and assertiveness to go get it. But if you can't go get the person, but you can continue and develop the connections that puts to bed whatever you were doubting, whatever you weren't honest about with self. You do away with that, and that leads you into the growth. It expands you. It expands your worldview. Again, character develops out of atrocities and adversities. How you deal with stuff, how you come out of it, develops your manhood. It develops your womanhood. All of that. You gotta keep hustling. You gotta keep flowing. You gotta keep moving. Guess why? Because it ain't over for you. It ain't over. It don't matter how old you are. It ain't over. What age you are. It ain't over. Look at DJ. This dude was like, he looked like he was in his 40s. I mean, like, for real. Trying to be a rap star. How many times do you hear people make jokes about somebody being a 40-year-old rapper putting out a demo? And what happened? Some adversity came, somebody told him and threw his, and then he done lost his mind and damn near beat somebody to death in a bathroom or whatever and went to jail. And what happened? It ain't over for me. It ain't over for me. Keep moving. But grief is hard. And there's help for grief counseling. There's books you can buy on how to deal with loss. But the thing that I feel is missing, which is sitting right here in the upright, two of them: unconditional love, giving and receiving affection, and also union, soul connection, coming togetherness. You guys are projecting each other's pain, because nobody loses a person by themselves. They don't. It's a family that has experienced loss. And there may be, again, you guys showing each other, I hurt like this, I hurt like this, you hurt like this, they hurt like that, they hurt like this. And everybody is kind of absorbed into their own grief. And they're grieving separately. But to come together to deal with the loss, it helps, because you don't have to carry it by yourself. You don't. Unconditional love will help you get back into the flow. The ebbs, those waves that come in that knock you off your feet, they knock you off your feet. But to get up and just flow, to go with the flow, sometimes is all you need to do. See how is it going to move you. See how is it going to move you. Bring you back to peace. Write your joy and contentment. It's in reverse. Connecting with people. Truly connecting with yourself. Acceptance. Nothing takes life but the Father. In every capacity, in every scenario, for the Father's will. And you may be too close up on that thing to see anything about why. It won't be until you pull back can you see it. It won't be until you get into some work, do the work, for you to feel it, to feel the why. And if nothing else, then be. Be everything. Everything that was desired for you. Be everything that was wished upon you. This person probably spoke beautifulness over you. Like, you could be anything that you want to. That you're strong and that you're capable and that you are a great person. and that you have so much to fulfill in your life, so much potential, so much potential, so many things that you can still do despite the adversity of what you see, despite it all, because you can pull it out of your kingdom space, aligning yourself, coming into alignment. Trust the universe. Trust it. It ain't over for you. It ain't over. Keep hustling. Keep moving. Keep flowing. Okay? Know this. I love you. 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 Until the next Now with your girl Lottie on Tears and Wheat to Rose show, where you sure enough never know what you gonna get. Just never know. We'll call this here and Ashe.